Yes. How are you, Appa?
A little better, sister.
Yeah, you look better. Thank God.
Thank God it's not COVID.
Yeah, that's right. So, what's up? So, you're all in different parts of Bangladesh, yeah?
Hi, Purushottam. Hi,
Actually,
Denise.
from Bill's, myself and Kohinoor Appa joined from Bill's office, and our colleagues they joined from Chittagong office.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Hi, Manjeet Aluwalia from Hindu Sabha, India.
Hello, welcome, sister.
Hi,
So, where are you, sister?
I'm from Hindu Majur Sabha from India,
Yeah, but where are you? Where are you in India? Where are you based?
from New Delhi, and I'm the General Secretary of All India ITTC Majur Janta Union and Vice President of Australia Club. There's one club, very big club there, and Secretary for Women Committee, Delhi State HMS.
I see. Yeah, very interesting.
Hi everyone.
Hello, Purushottam.
Afternoon.
Hi everyone.
Hello, Dinda.
Sister Kohinoor, you're here. How are you today, sister?
Kohinoor Appa is here.
Sister Dinda, how are you? I'm Nazma from Bill's.
Hi, Dinda.
Hi, Sister Nazma. Nice to meet you. I'm Dinda. I'm good, thank you. How about you?
Hello everyone.
Akshi, good morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm
Are you
fine.
excited about today?
Yes. Only if I can remove my mask and show you how excited I am.
Yeah. So, yeah, just don't be nervous. This is all our Dharka people, you know.
Yes.
So, okay, it's good we can talk today. I think somebody's TV is on.
Something new.
It doesn't sound like TV though. It sounds
Yeah,
like a
some
presentation.
reporting. Yes, yes.
It's me only. I'll mute myself.
Ah, you're watching some presentation.
No, I was on another meeting.
Oh, you're multitasking. You're attending 2 meetings at one time. Sanjita Appa, good morning. Tamanna, good morning.
Good morning.
afternoon.
Good morning, Indira.
How are you today?
Yes, I'm okay. Today I am in office.
Oh, okay. So Bangladesh has like allowed you to go to office and so on.
Yes, we are doing. Yeah.
What about Sister Tamanna?
তো কেমন আছেন?
Appa.
Sanjita Appa, are you hearing? হ্যাঁ,
আপা
কেমন আছেন?
আমাকে ও বাংলায় বলছেন তো আমি আবার ভাবতেছি যে কাকে বললো আপা। Yes.
Sanjita Appai বলছি।
ও আমি একটু মিস করছি আপা। হ্যাঁ আমি আমার কম্পিউটারের সে বসছে তো এজন্য একটুখানি সেট করছি। পাশে তো এক রকমের মোটামুটি সেট হয়ে আছে। অফিসেরটা ঠিক করলাম আমি। ভালো আছি আপা।
Indira, hi.
Yes.
I wanted to ask one thing.
Yes, sister.
Walaikum assalam. Sanjita Appa.
জি কোহিনুর আপা।
কেমন আছেন?
জি আপা চলছে।
আমার শরীরটা খুব খারাপ গেল।
হ্যাঁ কালকে আমি দেখলাম আপনি জয়েন করতে পারলেন না। কি হয়েছে আপা?
জ্বর, ঠান্ডা, কাশি। আমার তো এমনি অ্যাজমা আছে। অ্যাজমাটা বেড়ে গেল। সবকিছু মিলে একদমই মানে লাস্ট উইক খুব সাফার করলাম। এখন কফ আছে, মাথা ব্যথা আছে।
করোনা না তো?
না টেস্ট করছি।
এখন শুনলে এগুলি ভয় লাগে আপা।
টেস্ট করছি আপা, আলহামদুলিল্লাহ করোনা না। তো এখন আলহামদুলিল্লাহ একটু ভালো, কিন্তু এক নাগারে কথা বলতে পারি না, কাশি উঠে যায়। Hi, Sakshi. Sakshi, hi. How are you, Sakshi?
Hello, Sister Kohinoor. I'm fine. How are you?
I am fine now, but I suffered a lot. Today is better, Alhamdulillah, but cannot speak long time due to coughing. No, better. But as I miss you all yesterday, so it is very long-awaited program. We cannot see each other, we cannot touch, hug each other, but
Yes.
at least we can see each other. And due to my sickness, I cannot see all of you. So I was so annoyed, uh, joining today, but keep shut my mouth. My colleague Nazma Yasmin, Rizanur Rahman Khan, Pahari Bhattacharya, Nazim Bhai, everybody is there. If anything raised regarding the projects, they will answer. My colleague Nazma Yasmin will join in the talk show. So, okay, I just came to see you all, to hear you all.
You hope you get well soon. We also miss meeting in person with each other. I think yesterday also it was a great session, and yesterday also we did discuss on that. We miss meeting in person, but yeah, let's hope things get better soon and when we can meet in the future.
আসসালামু আলাইকুম আপু, ভালো আছেন?
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ, তুমি ভালো আছো তামান্না?
জি আলহামদুলিল্লাহ আপু।
আমাকে তো জিজ্ঞেস করলো, ইন্দিরা জিজ্ঞেস করছে যে কেমন আছো তুমি।
ও আপু, নেটওয়ার্ক ইস্যুর জন্য শুনতে হবে। হ্যালো সিস্টার ইন্দিরা।
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ।
Hello, Tamanna Appa, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Good, very good. Now that you are here, and now that Kohinoor Appa is here, everything is better.
Thank you, sister. Thank you for your good wishes, very good words from you, Dinda.
Yeah,
Very amazing.
we were a little bit worried, and Dinda in fact had something planned for you. Sorry.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, is that Haryati?
Yes, I'm from Indonesia. I'm joining for this meeting.
Where are you joining from, sister? Are you from Indonesia?
Yes, okay, I'm from Indonesia.
Oh, nice to see you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. I'm joining this meeting.
It's very nice to have you here. So I think brother Nazimuddin is here, right? Actually, the whole LRSC team, I think Sudhanya Di has something to say to you. I mean, she has a question actually regarding your... Sudhanya Di, if you can open your mic and speak to them directly.
Yes, yes. Sure. নমস্কার। আমি আপনাদের ইংরেজি থেকে বাংলায় ট্রান্সলেট করছিলাম কালকে। তো আমি জানতে চাইছিলাম যে এটা কি ঠিকঠাক হচ্ছে না, আপনাদের কিছু চাই এর সঙ্গে, তাহলে আমি সেটা করতে পারি। আজকে আপনারা যদি কেউ বাংলায় বলেন তাহলে আমি সেটাকে ইংরেজিতে ট্রান্সলেট করতে পারবো। আর শুধু একটুখানি থেমে থেমে যদি বলেন তাহলে ভালো হয়। মানে আপনি বলছেন আমি বলছি, তারপরে আবার আপনি বলছেন আমি বলছি, এভাবে।
কোথাও কারো মাইক্রোফোনটা অফ করা দরকার, অনেক আজানের শব্দ পাওয়া যাচ্ছে। There is a loud.
Yeah, she's on mute now.
হ্যাঁ,
So
নমস্কার। আমি আরেকবার আমি আরেকবার একটু আপনাদেরকে রিপিট করি। কালকে আমি ইংরেজি থেকে বাংলায় ট্রান্সলেট করছিলাম, কিন্তু আজকে যদি সেশনে কেউ বাংলায় আপনারা কথা বলেন, সেটা যদি আমরা সবার কাছে পৌঁছে দিতে হয়, তাহলে সেটা আমাকে যদি ইংলিশে ট্রান্সলেট করতে হয়, তাহলে একটু যদি মানে আপনারা কিছু লাইন বললেন, তারপর আমি কিছু লাইন ট্রান্সলেট করলাম, এরম হলে ভালো হয় মনে হয়। তাহলে সেরম হতে পারে, বা আপনি কন্টিনিউয়াস বললে কি হয়, একটু একটা দুটো শব্দ হয়তো এখানে ওখানে রয়ে যায়। কোনো যদি আপনাদের থেকে ফিডব্যাক থাকে কালকের গতকালের ট্রান্সলেশনের, তাহলে আমি সেটাকে ইনকর্পোরেট করে নেব।
দিদি, আমি কোহিনুর মাহমুদ বলছি। আমি তো গতকাল ছিলাম না, আপনি যে কথাটা বললেন খুব ভালো বলেছেন যে হ্যাঁ, আমি আশা করি আমার সকল সহকর্মী আপনার এই গাইডলাইনটা মেনে চলবে। ওকে দিদি,
ধন্যবাদ দিদি। হ্যাঁ দিদি, ধন্যবাদ।
I think the host should mute Sister Nazneen's mic because it's coming on and off on its own.
Yeah, I'll tell the operator to do so.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. In a few moments, we will start the second day of the DGB BW Asia Partners Regional Workshop 2021. However, before we start this event, I would like to inform you again that we do have an interpreter feature that is available in several languages, in Indonesian, in Bengali, and Hindi language. Please find the globe button icon in your Zoom application to activate this feature. For more detail and information about this interpreter feature activation, I would like to welcome Sister Pauline. Sister Pauline, the screen is yours.
Hi, good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pauline, and together with the interpreting team, we will be your interpreters in this event. This event is accompanied with simultaneous interpretation feature. And to listen to the language interpretation, please follow these simple steps. 1. Click the globe icon labeled Interpretation at the bottom right corner of your computer screen, or the 3 dots icon at the bottom of your mobile phone screen. 2. If you do not need to use the language interpretation, you can select off to turn off the interpretation feature. 3. If you do need language interpretation, click the language that you would like to hear. Do not click mute original audio to ensure that you can continue to follow the floor discussion when there is a change in language used on the floor. 4. If you are using the interpretation feature and wish to speak, please make sure to select the same language channel as the language that you will speak in to avoid overlapping of voice with interpreters. And lastly, if you encounter any issue with the use of this feature, please do not hesitate to contact the technical team or the host via the chat box. Thank you for your attention, and with that, I return the screen back to the MC.
Thank you, Sister Pauline, for explaining the interpretation feature, which can be found both on your phone and in your laptop or personal computers. And let's start the event.
Sudhanyadi, this is an opportunity if you want to try once again.
Are you able to hear me, Indira?
Yes, we can all
Yeah,
hear you.
because I was on the other device and I was assigned the channel, so I was probably not heard. I'm speaking from a second device, so
Yeah, no
yeah.
problem. So brother Nazimuddin is here. So if you want to ask him, I don't know if he can hear. He's nodding. I think he can hear.
Yeah, নাজিমুদ্দিন ভাই সুপ্রভাত। নমস্কার। আপনি যখন বলবেন যদি একটু থেমে থেমে বলেন, কেন আমি ইংলিশে ট্রান্সলেট করব, তো সেই কারণে খুব সুবিধা হয়। নাজিমুদ্দিন ভাই, হ্যালো, আপনি মিউটে আছেন বোধহয়।
আমাকে কি আপনারা শুনতেছেন?
হ্যাঁ, আপনাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছি, আপনাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছি আমরা।
প্রথমে আমি সবাইকে আন্তরিকভাবে ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি, বিশেষ করে এই যে ওয়ার্কশপে আমরা দীর্ঘদিন থেকে অপেক্ষায় ছিলাম এই ওয়ার্কশপের জন্য। তো আমি এই ওয়ার্কশপের শুভ কামনা করছি এবং আমি এই ওয়ার্কশপের পরে আমাদের অর্জিত যেসব আমরা যে পয়েন্টগুলো আমরা আশা করব যে সব জায়গায় আমরা এগুলা বাস্তবায়ন করার জন্য চেষ্টা করব, সার্বিকভাবে আমরা চেষ্টা করব।
হ্যাঁ নাজিমুদ্দিন ভাই, আপনাকে আপনার যখন একটা সময় দেখবেন আপনাকে ওরা বলতে বলবে, তখন যখন আপনি বলবেন তখন আমি ওটা ইংলিশে ট্রান্সলেট করব, ঠিক আছে?
ওকে ওকে,
ঠিক আছে, ধন্যবাদ, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Right. Brothers and sisters, we are about to begin our event, and yeah, please also mute your phone, your mic and your video for a while now, because we are about to begin our event. Thank you. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the second day of the DGB BW Asia Regional Workshop Trade Union Solidarity in Pandemic Times. Brothers and sisters, still with me, Gian, as your host. Now, let's exchange more times even today and experience. How are you today, brothers and sisters? I hope you are as excited as I am about today's agenda. Before we start, brothers and sisters, may I ask all of the participants here to also give an emoji, an expression. How are you feeling today? Let us see some emoji, some reaction. Do we have it? Some emoji? Okay. We have a thumbs up? We have a heart? Okay, good. Keep it coming, brothers and sisters. Thank you for all the hearts and emoji. That is what we need to build solidarity between us. For your information as well, you can watch this event on our YouTube channel, TURC, right now. And please kindly like and subscribe our YouTube channel, of course. All right, brothers and sisters, hopefully we can keep the spirit up and follow today's agenda very well. And brothers and sisters, before we start this event, I would like to remind you as well to fill the attendance form and scan the QR code that is shown on your screen right now. And you can also click the link below the chat box below. And brothers and sisters, before we see the performance today, I would like to ask you to give our sincere prayer to one of our sisters, Sister Kohinoor Mahmood, Director of Programs from BILS. She has always been very active to participate in our activities, and she was sick for the past few weeks. So, brothers and sisters, please join me. Let us pray together for Sister Kohinoor that she can get well soon and recover and back with us in our fight again. Let us pray for Sister Kohinoor. Brothers and sisters, now, to start our beautiful day today, we will witness a performance which is a poetry musicalization that has been prepared specially for all the attendants of this workshop. And it will be performed by women workers representative from India, Sister Reka Kushwa, Sister Hemlata Gola, and others. So, I would like to invite Sister Sakshi from India to join us and explain a little bit about the poetry musicalization. Sister Sakshi, the screen is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Namaste from India. And at the outset, first we wish to thank the TURC for accommodating a union educational song in the program. The song that is being showcased today is from Uttar Pradesh state, which is the largest state in India. The partner there, Uttar Pradesh Grameen Mazdoor Sangathan, UPGMS, they often use such songs to convey social messages and also awareness in rural wealth in the state. This not only ensures larger women participation, but also helps them, the women, to get over their inhibitions. And the union is able to strike a chord with them. So this song that is being played today, this was done during one of our stakeholders and network meeting last month, and it was played during a break. So we have put English subtitles for ease of understanding, and we hope you like it. And without taking much of your time, we are pleased to present the song. Thank you.
शिक्षा दे रही हो हमको ये संस्कार प्यारी शिक्षा दे रही हो हमको ये संस्कार प्यारी BWI दिल्ली से लेकर आगरा तक संस्था आई BWI दिल्ली से लेकर आगरा तक संस्था यादें रही हो हमको ये संस्था प्यारी। दिन भर मेहनत करते रहते अनपढ़ होकर दुख ये सहते। दिन भर मेहनत करते रहते अनपढ़ होकर दुख ये सहते। नहीं जानते कीमत अपनी, नहीं जानते कीमत अपनी।
Wow. Brothers and sisters, that was a very beautiful performance. Really shows the importance of union and solidarity. Please give a virtual round of applause for our sisters from India. Yes, brothers and sisters, so the performance that we have just seen actually makes me curious about how a work of art can be used as an organizing tool if we want to. That was amazing. Thank you, Sister Shakshi. It was really exciting to witness the performance. Again, let's give a reaction to this performance. Let me see some hearts. Let me see some thumbs up. Okay. Thank you, brothers and sisters. So, brothers and sisters, before we proceed to our event, again, we would like to remind you that we do have several set of rules that we have to agree upon in this discussion. So, these are the following of the rules. First, you may turn on or off your camera as you like. And please change your name into the format of your name dash organization. And please mute your audio when other sessions are in progress. And also please, brothers and sisters, to type any questions in the Q&A box. And brothers and sisters, you may give stickers to express your feelings about the discussion. So feel free to send any emojis, any stickers. And don't forget to fill up the attendance form. So, brothers and sisters, after explaining those rules, I would like to share something else with you. Before we continue to the panel session, I have an exciting news for all of you here. The Action newsletter that has been the medium to capture inspiring stories and exchange learnings of the DGB BW Asia partners is now available for all of you to read. So brothers and sisters, the TURC team will blast the last edition of the newsletter to your email, where it will bring you to know more the details about the journey of the DGB BW Asia partners in being part of the Asia regional component. As you can see now on your screen, these are some parts of the Action newsletter. Please feel free to share and discuss this newsletter with your colleagues, and we hope it will bring you some inspirations for the great work that the DGB BW Asia partners have demonstrated. And special thanks to all DGB BW Asia partners that have participated in sending their stories to the last edition of the Action newsletter. Very well. So brothers and sisters, the next discussion is about gender and youth-responsive trade unionism. This will be led by the Director of Gender Equality Activities from ITUC AP, Sister Ana Tuvera. Joining her, we will also have 7 representatives from DGB BW Asia partners that I will call upon. And they are Sister Sakshi from BWI, Sister Najma from BILS, Brother Dominador from ITUC AP, Brother Nico from PSI AP, Brother Purushottam from SLD, Sister Sunzida from KN, and Sister Dinda from TURC. Without further ado, brothers and sisters, I will give the floor to Sister Anna. Sister Anna, the screen is yours.
I'm still getting used to that wonderful introductory song though. So great Tuesday morning or afternoon, everyone. Anna here from ITC Asia Pacific. It's great to have all of you joining us here. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy or keeping it cool, because I understand that some of you said it's raining out there. So wherever you are in this part of the world, we're excited to bring to you yet another interactive session on gender and youth responsive trade unionism. What can I say? This type of conversation always makes me recall great stories. And if I'm not mistaken, I might have shared this story with Indira before. 8 years ago, I had an epiphany in one of the first activities I organized after joining ITC AP. Before the meeting, a senior sister told me, I've been in the trade union movement for a long time, very long time. We did everything, but nothing has changed. That statement stayed with me. In fact, I think I got momentarily scared. I remember telling myself, Anna, are you sure you know what you were getting yourself into with this whole engendering the trade union movement thing? But then it made me want to know more about what did not go right, to understand better what we could do differently. I thought that maybe we may not have exhausted all options, that we had not really tried everything, and we owe it to her and the ones before her to make the world, our movements, more equal, inclusive, and passionate places for women and young people and their families, but for real this time. So fast forward to 8 years later, since that mind-boggling conversation, and we can confidently talk about successes in women and young people's collective actions, organizing and leadership, not just theoretically, but in reality. And this session is exactly about that and more. So for the next 2 hours, you have the opportunity to tell your stories, the stories of the odds you faced, the challenges you overcame, how you made good on the promises you made to women, young people in your life, even to yourselves, and what you have become today. In the years that followed, 3 things became clear to me personally. 1, when we include women and young people in all decisions that impact their lives and support them to lead, great things happen. 2, when we work together with men, especially with others, our actions become so much more effective and the results are even stronger. And 3rd, when we put women, young people and their rights at the heart of our efforts, greater equality and inclusion happens. And that is just the beginning. Now it's your turn, our esteemed members of the panel, Sakshi, Nasma, Dom, Purushottam, Susida, Nico, and Dinda to tell your stories. But before that, we have a big glaring title in front of us, Gender and Youth Responsive Trade Unionism. So let's spend a minute or two to break it down into the simplest parts. And yes, all of you joining this conference, we need your help. So reflecting on this question, and I need the help of the technical people to show us the question. Are you seeing it now? All right, so what you're seeing right now is a Mentimeter word cloud. I'm still getting used to the cloud thing. So this is the question. I would like everyone to respond to it. So the team share the link in the chat box, the Mentimeter link. So what you do, just click on the link and you can submit as many comments as you can, but you only have to limit your comment to 4 words. Okay, no limit on the number of comments, but apparently this app would only allow you to submit a 4-word phrase or a comment. So please do that now, and we'll give you 2 minutes to work on it. Oh, it's really silent. I'm not seeing anything yet. I know this is a very big question. Like, what does it really mean? All right. Now it's starting to look like a cloud, a little bit like a cloud. So keep them coming. So there are about 61 participants in this conference. If each one would submit 4, we'll have like, okay, too many. I cannot count. I need a calculator for that one. So yeah, but at least it's looking a lot better now. But still keep them coming. And then some, okay, yeah, see? The app will not stop you from doing it. So if the app would limit you to just make 4 words, you can use the chat box to share your comments as well. So good job, Rizwanor. Has it been 2 minutes already? Does it look like a cloud to you now? Do we have enough substance to get this conversation going? All right, and we have some local language here, so maybe the team can also share with us what it means later on. Yeah. All right, so I think it's been 2 minutes. It doesn't mean that this is all of it. It's just that we have this limited time to work on it, so we cannot do this forever. But it's thank you everyone. It's looking great. Team, please do not remove this screen because we're gonna be using it for the next set of questions, I guess. So, but just another point before we continue here. Please feel free to use the chat box throughout the session to submit some questions and make comments, because this is a place for everyone to be interacting. Although we will be doing a kind of talk show session, we would do our best to fill those questions and include them in the conversation as much as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it moving here. So members of the panel, are you ready? Can I get a thumbs up or a heart or whatever makes you feel like, yes, you're ready? All right. And maybe some of the members of the panel may not be able to use their video. Like Tom, I heard that Tom, I don't know whether Dom's video is working now, but that should be right. That shouldn't stop us from having a good conversation with each other. So looking at the word cloud, which of these stood out for you and resonated with your experience in strengthening the strategic role of women and youth members in trade unions? Because there are too many, you just have to give us your 2 top picks. So let's get started with you, Sakshi. Are you ready? Do you want me to repeat that question for you?
Thank you, Sister Anna. Okay. So speaking about women and youth, in our project interventions, we have made youth and women as central to our project intervention. And also we have put in place need-based interventions and trainings across geographical locations that are aimed at socioeconomic empowerment of women and youth through various capacity development and job-linked certified trainings. And if I can say what has worked for us is the effectiveness of these interventions, and also the ownership of our implementing partners, through which we have ensured that the ground realities and the ground needs are core to our project approach, are reflected and are core to our project approach. Yeah, additionally,
Shakshi, I think you've given me so much food for thoughts already. Would the team be able to return to us the cloud? Because I think Sakshi just highlighted some really good elements of what do we mean by this. Would you be able to show that cloud once again? All right, great. Thank you so much, team. And thank you, Sakshi. I'm going to go back to you once again, but let's hear from the rest of the panel members. So looking at the word cloud and reflecting on the question that I asked just now, can you give us 1 or 2 from this cloud that stood out for you? And thinking about the question, how did you strengthen the strategic role of women and young people and trade unions. Oh, we're still getting some more. So we'll go to Nico. Nico, are you ready?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. For us in PSI, what we try to do is, as per the project title, it's the number one priority for the project for us to engage young workers and women, especially young women, especially uh, in workshop and in other activities from the project. But aside from the project, the young workers are the number one priority of the Asia Pacific region. So what is the approach we did is, like for example, what we are doing is we're doing some pre-survey uh, activity before the workshop, so we can adopt the workshop what we're going to and what are the specific needs of the young workers, because usually most I'm sorry uh, um,
Yeah, Nico, can I stop you for a while? I think
yeah,
people are having difficulty listening from you. I think it's pretty low. Would it be possible for you to use a headphone?
yeah. I'm
All
going
right.
to use it. Give me 1 minute.
All right. Because we don't want to miss anything that Nico is saying. So yeah, it's good that we'll be able to have a really good sounds coming from you. Can you try again?
Better now?
Yes, so much better now.
Clear now?
Yeah. But can you turn the volume a little bit higher? Right. Okay, can you try again?
Yeah. Hello? Is it better
okay,
now?
everyone, it's okay? Good? All right. Yeah, they said it's okay. Go ahead,
Good.
Nico.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. Yeah, what am I saying is, aside from the project, the DGB Young Workers project, PSI is firmly, what do I call this? The young workers remain the priority for the region. So, instead of doing the common workshop, is what we try to do is we make it more interactive. As you can see, most of us do. I think most of our first time attending the union seminar was kind of boring. As you know, it's the same old. The speakers only discussing and the participants just get to listen to what the speakers are trying to say. And we try to adopt everything. Young workers are very. They can still hear me. Maybe I'm having some work.
We can hear you all right, Nico.
But there was a message from to the machine from operator that
so maybe we'll go back to you while they're trying to fix your volume, Nico.
Yeah, thanks.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Nico. We'll go back to you later on. So let's move to the other members of the panel. Maybe we'll hear from Dinda this time. Dinda, what do you think? What stood out for you from the word cloud and reflecting on your experience with strengthening the role of women and young people in the trade union movement? Go ahead, Dinda.
Okay. Can you hear my voice loud and clear?
Perfectly clear.
All right. Thank you, Sister Anna, and thank you, Other, also for coming. What stood out and resonate for me the most from the cloud is actually the word equal. Because the position of TURC in this case is quite different from the other partners, we as a facilitating organizations are trying to always document and see the journey of the other partners in supporting the more gender and youth responsive trade unions. So Equal stood out to me the most because if we can take a very concrete example, is from yesterday where we try as a facilitating organization to always provide an equal opportunity to ensure that a gender balance and youth-friendly environment is ensured in whatever that we do. The very concrete example that we can see is yesterday. It's moved my heart a lot when I first concept this thing with Sister Marmel and Brother Shubham, where we can particularly highlight young leaders from the ground to actually be heard and be seen in the organization. I think for the first time, I mean, what I can say first in this session is if we want to build a more gender and youth organization, it should be that we have an equal opportunity for all the women and youth to actually participate and be seen and heard in the organization.
Wow, thank you, Dinda. I think I couldn't agree with you more. And I felt that too. I had goosebumps all throughout the session yesterday. That was really good. Like I felt it every single moment. Thank you so much, Linda, for pointing that very important moment yesterday. So I'm moving to, okay, so we've been hearing from another sister, but let's move to another brother. So Dom, I know that your video is not working, right? But that's okay. So are you ready, Dom? What stood out for you from the cloud? And the answer to the question as well. Dom?
Yeah, can I have a quick look at the cloud again?
Yeah, the cloud vanished really fast.
There is cloud here, and it seems like it will rain in a while. Okay. But I'd like to see the word cloud.
Team, can you show us the cloud? I mean, the real word cloud, not the rainy cloud outside. Yeah, the word cloud. All right. Yeah, right there, Dom.
Okay. One word is about listening. When I was reading the documentation of best practices of implementing this project with the DGB BW, one of the leaders said that he forgot that the women and youth leaders would like to be given the role. So he forgot about that. He only realized that the women and young leaders need to be given space, and leaders should listen to them. When the WYRs, the women and youth representatives, started approaching them. So in that documentation, number one, among the very first important step is getting the buy-in of leaders. Women and young leaders, we know they can assert their rights, but it is also important to approach the leaders properly, to explain the need for the right policies, the right environment, so that they could provide or they could give the proper environment for nurturing the leadership of these women and youth. Another one is after that, giving let me check the cloud again.
The cloud's still there.
Yes, and I think a formative action. Buy-in is not enough. It should be the right policies should be there. It should be given the appropriate environment so that women and young leaders have the opportunity to rise to the challenges of being in the trade union. And so far, that's what some affiliates of ITUC AP and the ATU are doing in this project. And probably I can share more later on as we go with the forum.
All right. Thank you, Dom. And I think you've given us a good idea to look at the element of affirmative actions. And I think the members of the panel will have some really amazing examples to give us. Can I move to the other members of the panel? So can we reflect on what Tom just said just now, affirmative actions? So it's very important that not just we get the buy-in of the leaders, but for example, we have some targeted measures to make sure that that happens. You know, strengthening the strategic role of women and young people. So can I go to Nazma? Nazma, can you give us one or two examples of affirmative actions that your organizations have done to make this, you know, to make unions gender and youth responsive organizations? Nazma.
Thank you, sister. I would like to, express my gratitude to the DGB Regional Workshop 2021, Trade Unionism Solidarity in Pandemic Times. Thank you, Linda, for giving me the floor. And in that area, we strong from bills. We work for capacity building of the trade unions. We have 13 national major trade union associated with bills. So through our programs, bills program, and also through DGB interventions, our affirmative actions, we are more trade union, young and women are involved in the trade union process. And from our organization through, we are also involving our trade mid-level trade unions in a second mint position. Then they can also grow up on a good way, and they can also futurely run for organization. And we are also advocating for more trade union and women are come in the trade unionism. And we are also working with our associated organizations to involve more youths and women in their programs. And through DGB interventions, we have also, our programs are centered to the youths and women's, and we are implementing our, work in Chittagong area. But we have some also, we find some success also in that area through our interventions. Our youth trade unions, we have a youth trade union forums, and through them they are also working on workplace improvement. This is also need to be women's friendly. This is our also one of our demand, and our youth trade unions work for that issues, and also for the workplace accident. In our country, this type of workplace accident, industrial accident is happened, and from through our forum, youth trade union forums, they are also I would say joining and also willingly work on that report collection, and also award the workers on their rights and protect the dignity of their rights. And in the COVID time, we are also work for our youth trade union teams, and they voluntarily worked for our workers' rights protection. This type of affirmative actions through bills interventions we are doing, and we are also working on that areas.
Thank you, Nazma. That sounded so great. No wonder you are making so much progress. I mean, there's a lot of affirmative actions right there. And I think you've given us some ideas about what has changed. But before we go back to the specific examples of what has changed, I want to call, because I don't want to miss anyone. Sunsida, can you tell us some examples, maybe one or two examples of affirmative actions that you've done? Go
okay,
ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Sorry, Karmajibinari from the very beginning, from 1991. Our main motto is to organize the unorganized women workers. through these years, we tried to organize the women, especially the youth women, and also male workers also. And for these, what we did, organize them in small cells or groups, and then we nurture the groups in a way that they can enhance their leadership capacity, organizing capacity, and they can involve other women in their groups. And also through process of leadership development, especially the RMG workers, the young RMG women workers, they can engage in many issues like associated their rights in their factories, like maternity benefit, the issue, and their sudden sack from the factories, or the waste related issues. Many issues are in the factories are happening, and these women are stand beside their co-workers to ensure their rights. In such a way, we are doing our job in the with the workers, and also through the DGB project, we are also engaging the youth and women workers of the seafood processing industries, and that is very far from the capital city in Khulna, the coastal region, where many industries are operating to process the seafood, especially the fish, and where women working for a long time without any knowledge about their rights. They do not even know that there is a labor law. So there we also try to organize the women in small groups, and every time we visit with them, we discuss with their rights and other issues that the government or the factory owner should give them. And in such a way, the last 1.5 years, we found that the leadership capacity is growing, and the women are very enthusiastic to know more about their issues. How can they get especially the gender issues, gender-based violence issues, we discuss with them. At the same time, the youth men workers are very interested. They repeatedly tell us, sister, involve us with your process. We want to know more about your issues and trainings. In this way, we are preparing the workers. In our country, especially in the seafood processing worker, there is no strong trade union activities yet. So we are working in a way so that the workers can get prepared to involve in the trade unions. And we are also trying to involve the national federations leaders with these workers to make a networking, make a channel, so that the worker can involve in the national level platforms or networks or trade unions. In such a way, we are working with people. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sansida. That's really amazing. Involvement with the national leaders, building networks, and this is something that I really like what you said. Women starting to be very enthusiastic. And I have a really good question on this one, but before that question, I don't want to forget, we still have one member of the panel who hasn't spoken, Purushotan. I will not ask you to reflect on the cloud, not anymore, but I will ask you to reflect on what you have been hearing from the members of the panel so far, and which of these experiences, either affirmative actions or whatever specific experiences they have, which of this resonated with yours?
So am I audible and clear enough?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
go ahead.
So coming back to the first question that we had, the panel had on the words that resonates well with well from the cloud, and even I was having the words that was mentioned, which is affirmative action and awareness justice. So I'll try to get back to the affirmative action with respect to my work or SLD work that we are doing with the support of DGB buildings work. Is that what we SLD, as you all must be knowing, that we are not a trade union, but we are a labor rights organization which works closely with trade unions and support in terms of evidence-based research. And it was a research that was that finally culminated into a project to form collectives in seafood processing industry of Gujarat, because what we felt is that the processing worker are the one who are kind of individual right now, and people are not talking about them. So the project that we started working on is to get in touch with the workers, women workers, especially women workers, and the objective was to have collectives, to form collectives and have at least 25 to 30 women workers emerging as leaders, or who would start taking labor right issues and would be very active within the groups or the collectives that we would form. And recently, one experience that I had, which led me to choose this word affirmative action, is that we have hardly been working for over a year, and the members from the groups had a question, is that why are you doing this? Are you going to be with us when we take an action, when we raise our voices against the factories? And when we from SLD is like, yeah, we are with you, and one of the reason why we are doing this is that you are strong enough to stand or raise your voices against these factories. And after that, what I heard from them was that there's a word in Hindi called Andolan, which roughly translates as movement. And what they said is that we are ready for that movement. Even though this group had only 25 members, it was only a village, and they were very eager for some affirmative action. And what they wanted is that, okay, we are ready for a movement. If you are with us, we want to raise our voices against the factories. Although we had to during trainings, the members from many other villages meet together, and we had to explain them that, okay, unless and until we are strong enough, it's not very viable for us to raise voices against it. So that's one which is which had in my mind from the question one. Second is the young participation. It was surprising to see that all these workers, many of them who are very young and probably have started working in their when they were 15 or 14-year-old, and now they are 18, 19 or 20-year-old. So most of them are under 25, and they were the one who were very enthusiastic about the work that we are doing. And eventually it turned out that they are the one who are also being appointed as kind of a contractor from the factories, who would ask them to control and manage the workers coming from their villages. And they were the one who were also coming very enthusiastically in the meetings, and we're talking about the challenges that they face, the violations that when after our trainings, when they started understanding the violations that they were not considering as violations, they were the one who started raising the voices. So what this reflects, when we look at the topic of the this panel, is that the gender and youth responsive trade unionism. There is a need to guide the young participation, young workers, and probably they would be the one who would be more impactful and would be more willing to participate. It's just that we have to see and guide them that, okay, guide them to navigate through the difficulties or navigate through the politically unstable, diplomatically situations where they might not where they might not assess the challenges properly. So that's another. Now, coming back to coming back to what other panels have shared, one thing that was mentioned by, I guess, Sanjida Appa, is that workers are enthusiastic, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, I won't I won't say that a trade unionism is something which is very easy to do, or workers are always enthusiastic. But yeah, if we have an objective of having, or have an intent of having affirmative actions, and we advocate awareness and justice, then that enthusiasm can lead to greater results.
All right. I think that's a really good way to conclude this part of in session. And in fact, Purushotan, we will have another related question on this one, because I'm also very interested to know. I mean, what do you mean by people are enthusiastic? How does that contribute to making big changes happen in our organization? So I'll go back to that one, because I think it's very important that we have a conversation on this one. But now I would like to have a good sense, and maybe a little bit of sense of the kind of progress that you have made. I'm sure there are a lot, and 2 hours may not be enough. We probably, DGB, BW, and TURC, probably have to organize another three-day conference, just so we will have that chance once again, right? But for this one, I would like to request the members of the panel to just give us 1 or 2, keep it short, very specific examples of, the progress that you made. What has changed? So examples of what has changed, and which you are particularly proud, because you have been directly, personally, and intimately involved in making it happen. And so, since I missed Nico earlier, Nico, I will give you the floor to start this round of conversation once again. What has changed? 1 or 2 very specific examples, and why you're particularly proud of it. Go ahead, Nico.
Yeah, I hope I'm clear now.
Very clear. Congratulations.
Yeah, I switched to my headset. But yeah, referring to the question is, yeah, like what you said, we have a lot of accomplishment of the project. But one thing I am very proud here in Asia Pacific for the PSIDGB Young Workers Project is mostly the unions here have an existing young workers or women committee, but currently not active. But because of the young workers, were given safe spaces, to participate, to voice out their actions and share their sentiment on the union. From their participation to the project is they now realize the importance of a specific gender committee or young workers committee, that it will be a safe space for them to share their ideas, experiences to the union, and what do they think they can contribute to the union itself. Because from our experience, I think mostly the unions are doing this. The young workers are just coordinating parties, extracurricular activities, sport activities, but non-related to the political aspect of the union. Like, for example, even though they wanted to participate in collective bargaining, they're now technically they're not allowed. Technically they're not welcome, to join, because mostly young workers are told to be you're too young to be part of the serious negotiation, and you lack the experience. But because of the unions, it's not just the project, it's the union itself on how they appreciate the importance of the young workers. So uh, from those efforts by the young workers and the unions, and from the activities, is from now young workers are now participating not just in the extracurricular activities, but they are now part of the collective bargaining, not just an observer, but also part of the panel who are negotiating directly to the management. And from that, most of the inactive young workers and women committee are starting to be reactivated again, not by the effort of the project, but from the effort of the young workers themselves, writing to their unions that can you please give us an opportunity to reactivate the young workers committee, and give us the opportunity to lead the young workers and try to organize an activity for ourselves. And yeah, I think that is one of the most I'm very proud of this project. Yeah. Thank you.
And I'm proud of you, Nico, as well.
Thank
Every
you.
time you tell a story, you remind me of the younger days as well. I mean, we used to make coffee, just photocopy. We're not given those tasks that would lead to influencing policies or decisions of the institution. So yeah, I sort of like, yeah, this is a memory lane once again, Nico. So just keep it coming. Because yes, like I've been there, done that. Thank you, Nico. Dinda, to you, what is it that you are particularly proud of? I know there are many. Give us one.
Okay, actually, thank you, Sister Arna, for giving me the chance to speak after Brother Nico, because somehow it is quite related for what have been improved in TURC. I take this lesson actually from the regional conference of 2019. I remember that the TURC team wrote that we promised to develop a better internship program for our young colleagues that want to start their journey in the professional field. So in TURC particularly, in the last years, we try to develop a better internship program since the Generation Z is start to enter the workforce. And currently, we have some end-of-year students from college who are joining TURC in the internship program. And we try to make a more clear journey for them in terms of encouraging them to be more participative. And then we also try to equip them with a basic knowledge of labor rights. So when they are about to end the journey in TURC and decided to go to another organizations or a workplace, they really understand what the workers should have, or when decide they want to join a union. And then after that, we also try to incorporate them in a more concrete decision-making process and involve them in a strategic process as well, like asking them, what do you think of this program? How can we make this better? And actually take their consideration into a real action afterwards. Another thing that we are really try to focus is to train them on the critical thinking and decision-making ability, because we believe that the two soft skills are very important for the young generations to have in order for them to survive better in the professional field. And because we interact with so many young workers in TURC, me, myself, I consider myself still young as well. And maybe it is quite challenging, even we are only one generation gap from the Gen Z. It's still quite challenging to communicate with them. So we try to really understand has been their appetite, what kind of ways of communication is actually working with them. And through that learning process, we try to always revamp the process to be better. And actually this kind of inspirations that I really receive it from the partners by hearing their journey, by how they try to always incorporate youth and women throughout their works and everything like that. I think that's from QRC, sister.
All right. That sounds exciting. So, Dinda, is the internship open to the public? Do you need help with
Yes.
spreading the word?
yes, of course.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dinda. Sakshi, what do you think? I know there's been a lot, but if you can name one thing, what has changed and why are you particularly proud of it? Go ahead, Sakshi.
You. I'll say two things.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, I will segregate the answer on two levels. I will speak about the change in the organizational level and also the target beneficiaries. That is the
all right. Sounds great.
Thank you. So if talking about organizational level, there has been a positive impact on the numerical strength of women members in the participating organization under the project. And more women have enrolled in social security and various government programs. And additionally, the important thing has been the visibility of women issues, and also their participation has increased in meetings. And these, the women trained under the project from different capacity building trainings have become part of union structures, which signifying growing confidence of the organization and also women to assume organizational roles. So this is on that organizational front. And with regard to the targeted beneficiaries, women and young workers who have developed through the project interventions, they have reported regularly, like when we have reports, they have reported that they have recognition recognition at family, societal level, awareness about their rights, both at the work site and community, and also extremely important, improved employability and wages, which has been consequent to the certified skills training development in the project. And one of other important thing that was also during COVID-19, the relief, that financial relief that helped them tide over the economic difficulties during the pandemic. So this has been like these really good from our end, from the BWI. And also women have been raising their voices against grievances and sharing, so they're coming forward. So that has been like really good from our
All right.
end. Thank you.
That's really great 2 points. Remind me not to limit you to 1 point, because I think you have so much to share anyway in a very short time. All right, just a reminder to other participants joining this conference. So please feel free to use the chat box. Let us know what are you thinking. What are your thoughts on what the members of the panel are saying, sharing, exchanging, and in this session? So feel free to share those thoughts and questions, and we'll try to include them in the conversations as well. All right, Nasma, over to you. One thing that you're so particularly proud of.
Thank you, sister. Actually, we have many issues.
I know. But if you can choose, like really, this is something that I'm so proud of.
Yeah, I can share with you from Bill's side 2 issues. Bill's work for capacity building of trade unions, through research, then our information services, and also training program, and also networking. And through Bill's interventions, we would say Bill's women and youth team members have been nominated and elected to the Central Committee of the National Trade Union Federations. We would say this is our best example from our associated trade union and also from our youth trade unions. We have, in the earlier I mentioned you, we have youth trade union forum. from our youth trade union forum, our youth leaderships, they are also selected for national trade unions as a senior position for national, and also one is selected in a women also selected in a big position in their respective federation. So we would say this is our youth programs achievement in a nutshell. And another thing also share with you, support workers network in the pandemic time. In our youth team forum members, they are supporting relief to the workers in economic support and also food support to our workers. In our informal workers, they are suffer lot in the pandemic time. Our youth team members, they are supporting with our workers on a volunteer manners. And also, workplace accident when happened, our youth team members, they are, visiting in the workplace side, they are preparing documents and also share with national level and also mobilizing field level, for attention to the government. Yeah, so I would say this is a nutshell from Bill's side, which we want to share with you. And also, I agree with Sister Dinda's also saying their internship program. Bills also have internship program since Bill's beginning. Since 1995. I'd like to share with you proudly from our internship, presently 6 national university and also their students came here for their internship program. We are gladly said to you in that forum, more than 8 they are in our senior officer and also officer working with in Bill's team, and also few are joining in international organization. So this is also I would say development of youth activists and also youth women's who are working for the protecting worker rights in nationally and internationally. This is the way Bills is working. And yeah, over to you, sister.
Thank you, Nazma. Great. I think I would be interested to know about this internship program in another opportunity as well. So let's have that other meeting in the future. Purushotan, I'm still not forgetting you. Can you give us 1 or 2, something that you're very proud of because you have been involved in it as well?
Okay. Like coming back to the question of progress or change, since the women worker that we are working with, they have been exposed to any outside work with respect to any NGO or civil society organization. It's the first time they have been exposed to such initiatives. So the progress is mostly on the awareness side, where these workers didn't even have the idea of what the overtime is and for how many hours they would be paid normally, and then for how many hours they should be paid at the double rate. And then there are other rights that they have in factories. So we have legal trainings with them. So these are some of the awareness level progress that we have. And in terms of change, I would say it took us at least 3 to 4 meetings with them, group meetings that happens every month in each village. After 2 or 3 meetings, they started to open up, and when our women facilitators gave them time, it came into our knowledge that the gender-based violence is also very rampant over there. It's something that we almost entirely missed, and we almost had an opinion that the gender-based violence at workplace probably is not as rampant in the Verawal areas as we have seen in other places. And when we are having gender-based training, and when our trainers, women trainers, are coming back with their observations, that now they understand these and they have started taking actions against it. And for example, recently there was a factory where a supervisor was being abusive to a women worker, and she protested. In return, she was threatened to thrown away from the factory, and she resisted that as well. Unfortunately, there weren't other workers who stood by her side, but eventually she ended up not losing her job and also standing against it. So that's something she shared, and she was like, because of the trainings and because of the awareness that I'm getting and that these are my rights, I was able to. She was afraid, but then she was also able to resist it, stand against it. So that's something I would consider as a change. It's nothing compared to what's going on there, but it's a change that gives me some hope that in future probably these collectives would be successful and would end up being unions. So these two, I mean, keeping it very limited, these are some of the progress and changes that I have observed. Sorry, I can't hear you. Your mic is muted.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you for raising that one. I thought nobody would raise the gender-based violence. Whenever we have meetings, women and young people, this is always the first one that people talk about. They're very passionate about. So thank you for Shatan for bringing us again to this issue. And this is something very common issue that women and young people always tell us whenever we have conversations like that. So thank you for that. Sunsida, up to you. What has changed? Can you give us one good example and why you're particularly proud of it?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, my connection is unstable. Okay. I will just follow Purushottam's what Purushottam said regarding this project which we are implementing through DGB. My good feeling is that we are working in such a sector which is almost untouched by the labor rights organization as well as the trade union movement. That is a good feeling that at least we can start to organize women workers and also the male workers in such a sector, which the audience, the stakeholders should know about them. This is a good feeling from our side. And about the beneficiaries, we can organize the women, and they have started to engage with us, and their awareness level is raising. I cannot say that they are aware or fully aware because we have just started our work about a year. So in this short span, I should say that they are started to understand what is going on in there, what discrimination is going on upon there. They do not know even they have a legal law. They can just know, and they can now realize that, oh, this is a bad thing. What is going on for a long time with us? This type of feeling. They are now saying that they said, oh, Appa means sister. No one came to us to discuss about these issues. We do not know about this. This is a good feeling for us. And also they have, recently we learned about 2-3 cases that they have started to raise their voice in their factories about regarding any discrimination or abusive words by the supervisors or malpractices, cut their salaries, something like that. They have started to raise their voice against such bad things. This is a good feeling for us. Very small, but we have just started. Thank you.
Sonsida, I have a good feeling about it too. You know, these little things you said, those are very important. Those are indications of something good. We may not be able to document them right away, but it tells you something. Something is really great is happening there. In fact, that is a good question for the next one. But before that, Dom, I haven't forgotten you. So what has changed as a result of the project and one particular progress that you are most proud?
Before that, I'd like to emphasize that the project has provided dedicated, focused support for women and young workers compared without a project like this. And with that, the project provided opportunities for women and young workers to shine. And I would like to give two very specific examples. One is a young woman from the Philippines. She started as an office bearer in her union, but now she rose to be an office bearer of her federation and a recognized leader in the confederation as well. And she managed to negotiate the inclusion of labor rights education as part of the counseling session with graduating students in her university. She's a faculty member in State University, and with the inclusion of her as an officer of her federation, she was able to negotiate the inclusion of labor rights as part of the counseling sessions. Long before the Philippines passed a law on labor rights education labor rights in tertiary education, 18 months before the passage of a law. And the latest achievement, the latest of her achievements was she led the negotiation of the adoption of ILO C-190 enterprise-based mechanism. Remember, the Philippines has not ratified Convention 190 yet, but this particular woman, young woman leader, led the negotiation in her university in her collective negotiation with the university, the adoption of an enterprise-based mechanism related to violence and harassment at work. So that's one example. Another second example is also a young woman who has risen to the challenges of being a leader, even during the pandemic. And one of her recent achievements was the signing or the adoption of a gender-based violence-free zone in one enterprise in a province in Indonesia. She targeted this achievement is particularly important because she came with the idea of piloting such initiative after participation in the project. If I may borrow the word of Indira, that was her aha moment. So she piloted a GBB free zone workplace. She targeted 4 workplaces, and she managed to sign an agreement with a factory in one of the factories with, imagine, 12,000 workers, 70 to 80 young women workers. So those are proud moments for these women, young women leaders. And the changes that they have initiated will continue even after many years after the project, hopefully. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My foreign mates are making that barking sound, so I had to mute myself. But Dom, that's a perfect reply to the next question, in fact, because we're gonna be talking about how did you know that whatever it is that you're working, or that whatever it is that you have been doing is working, right? I mean, yeah, we've done so much capacity building awareness program, but how do you know that it's working? So how far do you think your interventions have reached the desired level, which Dom just rightly pointed out, the sustainable change? So you can give us one or two encouraging examples just so we have a good sense of what this big vision is. So how did you know that whatever it is that you're doing is working? And at what level of change have your intervention was able to reach? So for this one, I'm gonna start off with, let me see, Dinda. We'll start with you, Dinda, just because you've been looking at me and you wanted to start. Dinda, go ahead.
Okay, Sister Anna. Talking about how did I know that the thing is actually working, is it surprisingly, and I'm also proud to say this, that it is also the learning that we took from being a part of the Asia Regional Workshop. Is now TURC have the monitoring, evaluation, and learning officer in the organization. So the function of the MEL officer is to oversee all the success and document all the achievements, hurdles, and whatever that is happening inside of our organizations, and actually taking it to learn better on how can we be better if something has happened. So let's say about this particular project, like the regional workshop, we always gather a feedback form. That's why the MC, the host, the team from TURC keep reminding you that please fill the feedback form, because that is one of the parameter that we will use for a success, and it is also a source of verification when we are about to claim whether our indicator is meet the success or not. And then by having a MEL officer inside of our organization, it's really helped our work in really learning what has been the best learning that came from a particular program. That's actually one of the things, but not only the form, because honestly, sometimes the respondents that is filling the form is usually just giving like a short comment like no, yes, okay, will do, something like that. So it needs to be elaborated. So by having a monitoring discussion with the project partners, it is also very helpful for us in ensuring that what we are trying to give to them is actually working, and we can really know whether the thing that we are trying to tell them, or what is that? I'm sorry, I was thinking about the word in English. Give me some time. Oh
But
yeah,
you're thinking of it in Indonesia. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, we really want to make sure that the partners or the beneficiaries in the organization can really operationalize what we gave to them through the activities and etc. Maybe that's what I
Right.
can say.
And you just reminded me, Dinda, of one of my favorite words. Okay, I thought I muted myself. And Dinda, you just reminded me of one of the favorite words in this project is this. Oh, and I think everybody understands that word. And I still get to, yeah, it's still like a mouthful to say that, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Dinda. Yes, of course. So how would you know that it's working? Yeah, if someone can look at it, targeted examination of how and whether things are contributing to something. So with the monitoring evaluation officer, and I think Linda, this is something that is not very common in many organizations, precisely because of the lack of resources as well. But I'm so glad to hear that URC has started to engage someone to do that specific work. Thank you so much. Sonsida, I'll give you the floor this time. So how did you know that it's working? Whatever it is that you're doing is working.
Yes, our project objective is very limited. If we see the, if we want to find whether we are reaching our outcome or goal, and we can find that yes, regarding our project outcome or goal, we can reach. Because it is very during our development of the project in Delhi with the consultant from DGB, we set a very low voice, what I can say, goal that is not so much not achievable goal, because I said that this is a very new new sector for us, and with or less or no or minimum or no trade union involvement there. So we keep our goal very what achievable goal. So if you see that, I can say yes, we are very near to our goal. Organizing the workers, forming their groups, give them training, involve the male workers with the women, give the male worker sensitization about the gender issues, and women co-workers relationship with the women, something like that. And through these activities, and we'll see that what I said earlier, women are more wanted to involve, more enthusiastic about these issues, what they did not know earlier. So I think, yeah, we are very near to achieving our goal. Thank you.
I don't know whether it was Zita who said earlier, so workers or targeted beneficiaries have started to be very enthusiastic about the participation. They have started to report more regularly, as well as I think those are really good indications that whatever it is that you're doing, it's working. And remember what you said earlier, I have a good feeling about it. And it always starts with that, right? I have a good feeling about it. All right, thank you, Susida. Nico, all right. How did you know that it's working? And I think you gave us some good examples earlier. They're initiating something. Can you give us another example?
Yeah, I can give you. But how is it working? This is
Why
one
is
of
it?
the.
How did you know?
Yeah. This is one of the my favorite part of as a project organizer for this project is because our job is just the implementation is a small percentage of your work. It's almost the follow-up activities, the monitoring process. It's the major part of our job to really monitor and assess on what is the project is doing, and how can I say it's working. Like what I said earlier, one young worker is not enough to change policy, because even one volunteers to become a leader, it's not enough to change a lot of things if you're just alone, and you don't have any colleagues joining your what do you call this, your actions that you wanted to change. Like for example, if you're just one and you need to organize a lot of young workers, so how can I say it's working? Young workers are now organizing they're organizing their own recruitment activity, because for them it's very important that the young workers are engaging in different policy making decision of the unions. Because as you know, most of our PSI affiliates have a declining numbers of young workers participating. But through the project, they are now organizing their own, recruiting members to join the union. And from those activities, I can say it is working because the young workers now appreciate and really understand what the union is about. Because for them, prior to joining, the union is just an economic gain organization that, it's all about monetary salary increase, economic gains, and different benefits. But from their active participation on the union, they now understand the whole aspect of joining the union. Like for example, they're actively engaging in different political issues, cultural issues, workplace issues like gender-based violence, because gender-based violence is one of the priority thematic issues where we are tackling in the project. So we from those they now understand the importance of tackling gender-based violence, not just in the workplace but in the whole society. So yeah, from those things, I think it's working because they are now organizing their own activity and they're recruiting their own members to join the union, and they are actively participating in different union activities. So yeah, I think that's
Thank you, Nico.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think Marmal is a really good example and evidence that whatever it is that you're doing is working. Right, Nico? All right, over to you, Nasma, this time. How did you know that it's working?
Thank you, Sister Anna. Actually, we know from our interventions, we have, earlier I mentioned, we have youth trade union forum comprising on our youth and also our women workers. And through them, actually, we working for, lobby advocacy with the government, and also mobilizing the informal workers. In our country, formal workers are, 15%, and informal workers are 85%. So that's why most of the workers, they are not covered in our labor law. Money to protecting the informal worker rights, especially for the in our country, platform economy, and also our beauty parlor workers, super shop workers, hotel restaurant workers, our construction workers, rickshaw puller, our domestic workers, they are not covered in our labor law. And bills is facilitating secretariat of three network. One is Domestic Workers Rights Network, and we are also work for 32 trade union and worker rights organization associated member of that network. And we are also a secretariat of Gender Platform Bangladesh. Through that platform, we are 8 organization are working on that gender platform. Bills is currently secretariat on that network, and from our worker rights and labor rights organization, Kormojibi Nari Awas Foundation, our Bangladesh Labor Foundation, Mondial FNB, Fair Foundation, and Industrial Bangladesh Council, all we work together, to prepare law for sexual harassment, prevention of sexual harassment at workplace. And our youths, they are, supporting our all networks and also our programs. They voluntarily, attend our program. And we have one successful from our Domestic Workers Rights Network. We formed that network in 2006. But finally in 2015, after 9 years, we all work together, worker rights organization, human rights organization, and trade unions. Finally in 2015, we get the Domestic Workers Protection and Welfare Policy 2015. in our country, workers' rights violation is always happening, and in that case, we have one program for where violation, there we stand. And our youth trade unions, they always organize this program through under the banner of our network, and always they support our bills workers advocacy program. And also, Chittagong is a conservative area. In that area, through our intervention and also this project intervention, we have core youth trade union teams and our women leaders. I'm also mentioning it is in conservative area, but in our country, our women's leaders, they came in the front side, and they are also in a motorbike rally. They are organized. They are running. Leading. Wow. And also they are also preside of our program in Chittagong area. So this I would say we started initiative, but it is not easier to achieve at a time. And we started, ball is rolling, and near future we see in our mainstream trade union leadership, and also our women came forward, and in workplace level, gender-based violence, it is also been reduced. We know without trade union, we strongly believe without trade union, it is not easy to journey and success on that advocacy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I think I fully agree with you. In fact, Bangladesh is one of the countries that I'm very proud of in terms of building leadership, the work that you're doing on gender-based violence. But you know what? I just observed that no one is asking comment, and no one is asking questions, and no one's sharing any comments in the chat back. Does it mean that because of the conversations that we're having, people understand, people get what they're expecting from this conversation? So yeah, good job, team. All right, over to you, Dom. Could you quickly reflect on the question? How did you know that it's working?
We did not.
Oh, you don't?
We did not.
Can you elaborate on that? Okay.
Or on the reverse, we knew it was not working when it comes in the monitoring aspect, when we were not able to get the right appropriate information that we could call results, tangible results or achievements contributing to the project indicators. But yeah, starting from there, we backtrack how we were doing monitoring of the accomplishments of the beneficiaries. Remember, we have several countries with several languages as barriers. So the first thing that we did was to look at a template on how we could get the proper replies from those who are participating in the project by using a standard form. And it was not easy. I think we have had 3 versions before we finally managed to get the right information from the beneficiaries, the women and young leaders. So yeah, that's one level. In the area of monitoring, we knew we found the right spot when women and young leaders were sharing the correct information that contributed to the achievement of the project indicators. And the second level is on the sustainability, or should I say, the self-initiative of those women and young leaders. If of course, not all women and young leaders are active, but if those women and young leaders have been doing it just for a one-time affair or ad hoc initiative, then it's not working. How we know it's working? When they finally have their own self-drive, they manage to do follow-up activities on their own, to have their aha moment, and then they are proud, or they are sharing what they have been accomplishing with little support from the project. Remember, we cannot provide support to all affiliates. There are 15 national organizations participating in the project, and we could not provide full support to them, especially during the pandemic. And the foundation that we initiated, that the project initiated, is working if those women and young leaders are following up or doing their own activities regarding strengthening women and young leaders' participation, or pushing for women and young workers' rights, either at the enterprise level or at the tripartite or national level. Yeah.
All right. I almost got scared when he said, no, it's not working. Oh, so it's a reverse. Yeah, I got nervous for a moment. Okay, Sakshi, over to you. Okay, so don't scare me, okay? I got so scared I had to open the electric fan because it started to get really hot in the room. Saski, how did you know that it's working? Whatever it is that you're doing, the project is working. Go ahead.
Okay, so one of the things, there are a number of changes that have taken place, and which promise like a long-term and also sustainable gain. And speaking on that, one of the things that I like to share is that the partner organizations now, in their respective organizational constitution, have a mandate of 1/3 participation of women in union structures and meetings. So that is something we like is there now. And also, partners have realized and value women participation and membership that is strong enough to continue and support women-oriented interventions. So this is like one of the examples. Besides this, I would also like to share an example from one of our skills training activities. Hopefully that will also show that our interventions are working. So one of the workers, she wanted to be part of our skills training in masonry, but her family did not allow her as per because of the various socio-cultural barriers. They said no, but then she continuously tried to persuade them, and finally she was able to overcome the obstacles and completed her training. And now she's a certified mason and earning almost 1.5 times more than what she was before. So, and when we spoke to her, and she said with the increase in the amount, the money she's investing in her children's education. So I think that's how these are like the stories of change or case studies we have that show that our interventions are working. And yeah, and just to, because I will just add on something about sustainability as well, because we feel that that also is an important part that the project, like Brother Dong also mentioned, once we have no support or very little support, then the project will function be on its own. Intervention will continue. So for that, we have developed master trainers at our various project locations, and at some places they are still in the process. And so that there should be a continuity in our trainings. And also we have partnerships with various stakeholders, including various sectoral skill councils who provide skills training, like Paints and Coating Skill Council under the Government of India. So this is something that shows us the project is working. And just to end my message, my point, we used to have a former child labor school that is located in the rural area, rural belt, that has now been formally converted into a skills training center, and that is accredited by the Government of India, and that will allow to impart training to participants and from other organizations as well as also governments. That is also something that we've worked on. And this, our initiative and intervention, this was highlighted in one of the recent newsletters of the Government of India Sectoral Skill Council, which was circulated among their partners and various wings of the government. So that is, I think, this shows that our project.
Congratulations, actually, and I like the story. Absolutely, these are the kind of stories that gives us the really good goosebumps. So thank you for that story. All right, Purushottam, what about you?
Yeah, so like I have also I've mentioned earlier as well, it can be counted as an indicator that the interventions that we are having is working. But I would like to add more to it, is that although we have worked only for almost over a year, and we had a very limited interaction with the workers, it's to see that these workers are still coming up for their trainings and they are pretty regular with their meetings, in spite of the fact that they have only 2 days in a month as leave. And these 2 days, I mean, there are no other leaves apart from these 2 days. No weekends, no Sundays, no Saturdays. These 2 days are the only days that they have. And in our last training, which happened in September 24th to 27, we could see that although the attendance wasn't as expected, but at least they came and they informed that, okay, we had only 2 leave, we are not left with any leave. We have to lose payments for a day, and still we could see that they were coming for these trainings. So in terms of progress as awareness is concerned, we see that there is awareness that has been made, and there are changes that we are seeing. Now coming back to how effective the change or the progress has we been able to achieve the objective. So the objective was to have at least 25 women workers who emerge as leaders or are willing to take the leadership roles, at least for their own groups, which would ultimately turn into a collective. So by the end of this year, probably we will have, we have 25 leaders. They are very committed to the roles and responsibilities that they have been given. And we are hoping that the sacrifices that they have to make as of now, which is probably not resulting in any quick or any benefit to them. Still, if they continue to take those responsibilities, I would say it's an indicator and a sign that whatever we have done has been working, and probably it will continue to do so.
All right. Thank you so much. And I think I have a really good feeling that everything is working, because we're having this conference and we're getting so much, we're hearing so much progress, amazing journey stories from all of you. We're not closing yet, but since we are not getting anything from the participants, that is a good sign. That is a good sign that whatever they're hearing are something that, you know, they resonate with the participants. So I'm going to move on. I need the help of the technical team to show us the final word cloud. So I'm going to move on to our final word cloud, which actually kind of wraps up a couple of things that we've heard so far. And this time we would like to hear from them because we've been talking for almost what, 1 hour and 30 minutes maybe, and we haven't heard from the rest of the participants. So let's give them that 1 or 2 minutes once again to reflect on the final word cloud. So technical team, can you show us the question, please? All right. Thank you so much. So this is the question. This is for the participants, okay? So what stood out for you the most, particularly in terms of what more needs to happen and how? I mean, reflecting from the exchanges that we have, you've been very quiet, huh? It's time for you to tell us what you've been thinking about. So what needs to happen and how? From the conversation, from the exchanges amongst the members of the panel, give us some of your comments on this big question. Again, the link of the Mentimeter is in the chat box. You can submit as many comments as you can. Oh yes, and it's coming already. Yes, keep them coming. And finally, you're talking in silence. Anyone else? I wonder if the question is very hard. All right, now it's looking better. I think Dinda and Nasma, you probably received some emails soon about people who are interested about your internship. So don't blame me, I didn't warn you, okay? All right, so they're happy. They're happy to receive those emails, everyone. Well, these are very familiar words. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll give you another maybe 30 seconds more to further reflect on this question. Yeah. We see the center of it, solidarity. All right. Thank you. Oh, we're not ending yet, okay? But as you know, when we're having so much fun, when we're having a good time with everyone, we don't realize that the time flies very quickly, right? So we're gonna conclude the session with a lightning round. This one, you know, we gave the speaker some questions in advance, but we changed many of them. But these are people who are doing this work on the ground, so you don't really need to give them the questions in advance because with or without questions, we're able to answer us anyway. So we're gonna conclude this session with a lightning round, right? So what is a lightning? Lightning is so fast. The rules are pretty simple. I will ask one or a series of questions, and panel members, you only have to answer with one and no more than 2 sentences, okay? So no narrative report this time. You just have to answer one or no more than 2 sentences and absolutely no more. And the solidarity thing is getting really big. Good. This is meant to be a lightning round, so where the answer should come quickly. Are you ready? It's like we're in a pageant. Are you ready? All right.
No.
You're not ready. You'll never be ready. Okay, first question. And this one, I don't have to call you, okay? So whoever is ready, just answer this question. Your favorite word of the day, something that you pick up from the conversations and it changes with the fellow panelists, or we haven't really read anything much in the chat box. So something that you pick up from the panelists, a word, your favorite word, anyone who's ready, go ahead.
Leadership.
Who said that?
Sanjida.
Okay, leadership.
Sustainability.
Voice.
Listening.
Assertive of their rights.
Oh, okay, say that again. One word, two words. Oh, right.
Solidarity. Yes, solidarity.
Nico, I didn't get that, Nico.
Assertive.
Still have two more. Dom and Purushotan.
Oh, I said voice.
Oh, did you say voice? I didn't hear your voice.
Ah.
Okay, Purushotan, what about you?
Action, affirmative action.
Okay. All right, second question. What practical advice would you give women and young people starting in their leadership journey? Very short. Who wants to do it first? Dinda, you ready?
Engage with the union.
Okay.
Or platforms.
I'll try my best.
Is that your answer, Dinda? Is that your answer, Dinda? I tried.
No. That is my answer.
Start questioning.
Okay. So the message maybe will be in
one sentence.
One sentence. Okay. I hope that the organization leaders can have a more willingness to be all ears, so that the women and young workers in the organization can feel more belong, safe, and confident to be part of the organization. Thank you.
That's a very long sentence, but very clever, Dinda. One sentence, very long, very clever. Who's next?
For the young and women workers, start questioning, don't hesitate.
Ooh, very short, straightforward. Love it. Okay, who's next?
For the young women and young people, engage with existing any workers organization, trade union platforms to feel the solidarity of workers.
All right, I really feel that as well. Who's next? Dom. Yeah, now I see you raise your hand. So in case I don't hear your voice, go ahead, Dom.
It takes two to tango. Don't wait for the leaders to give you space. Make the space for yourself.
Ooh, wow. All right, who's next? Nico.
Okay, I'll go.
Oh, who's that? Sorry, Nico. Okay, Shakti first. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so women face challenges at multiple levels, and we as trade unions have to stand by them through thick and thin. Yeah.
Now a song is coming through. What's that again? Nico, your turn.
I was thinking how enjoyable this activity if we did it face to face. So anyway,
I feel that too.
Yeah. I was really enjoying the session. So for me, my advice is don't be shy and organize, fight, and win.
That could be our next slogan, Nico. You'll never know.
Yeah.
All right. Who hasn't spoken yet?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Yes, yeah. In Bangladesh, work is going informal in nature. We feel your trade union will develop their capacity on contemporary and classical labor issues. We feel this is need.
All right. This is the first, shorter. All right. Oh, next question. If there's one thing you want participants to remember as a result of our conversation today, what would it be? Dom, you're raising your hand, so let's start with you.
I forgot to
Your fault, your fault. So, what is it?
Yeah, I forgot when I laughed.
Who wants to speak first? Let's. Dinda, you've been laughing. Yeah, let's start with you.
Please let the other turn first.
Okay, so
Can you
who's
please
ready?
Yeah, can you please again ask the question?
Okay, let me repeat the question again. If there's one thing you want participants to remember as a result of our session today, what would it be?
For the participant should be engaged with the workers more and more.
Okay, that's very clear. Very clear. Saxi, go ahead.
Okay, so speaking from today's discussion and the project, I would say that specific to that when we talk about skills training, that alone will not lead to the desired change. That when we see that alone providing skills training will not give the desired impact, as women need to overcome various socio-economic culture barriers from family, community, worksite, and at union level. So along with skills training, we believe that different issue-based trainings, capacity development, awareness, policy and structural changes are equally important. So yeah, that is something I would like to end with.
You're a first learner. You learned from Dinda. Very, very, one sentence, very long. Nico, what is it? One thing.
Don't hesitate to provide young women and young workers safe spaces. It will be very beneficial to the union.
That's nice. You know, it's so nice to have this out of the blue question because I'm hearing very authentic interventions from all of you. Oh, Dom, you didn't raise your hand anymore, but are you ready?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Assertiveness starts with the right information and education. So educate yourself properly.
Oh, that's it? Okay. I thought there's more coming up. You have to tell me whether it's done.
I should have said period.
Okay, who else hasn't spoken?
Me.
Okay, Dinda, go ahead.
Now I'm ready. Okay. What I would like the participants to remember, it's always okay to start with something really small, but don't forget to always incorporate women and youth to every of your activity because the young generation is going to be the next leader.
All right. Indira, I hope that that's not something you want the participants to remember. My very loud laugh. Anyways, who else hasn't spoken?
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would say that be consistent. Don't let challenges overwhelm you. You will be surprised by the result. When we started and all the pandemic happened and the challenges that we faced, we were not very sure about how this whole project would end up. And right now, I'm surprised by the results that I'm seeing.
I think that's the kind of surprise that I'm getting as well from the rest of whenever I have conversation with Indira, this is the feeling that I get as well, that partner was surprised that even with the pandemic, we're able to do so much more. Imagine if there's no pandemic, right? All right, so who hasn't spoken yet?
Me.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
From our policy level and root level experience, from bills we feel broader network and solidarity support for our audience actually, and it can make success from our youth and young women leaders in their mainstream program and also their work.
Thank you so much. I didn't miss anyone, right? For this
I-
round.
I have
All
missed.
right.
I have missed.
I missed. Okay. Who? Kalpana.
Yeah.
Kalpana
Just I would like to say only single line that raise your
Okay.
voice for your rights and the union role to build their confidence. That message I would like to give.
That's perfect, and thank you. Finally, we heard someone from the floor. I thought only 7 people are part of this conversation. So yes, okay. We have other
Thank you.
people. Not okay.
Sister Anna,
Then yes.
we said
Indira.
we said the panelists talked about the importance of listening, so we were listening.
That is the main part of any meeting. There should be some listener also.
No, we're just joking. You didn't have to take it seriously.
No,
Anyway.
it's not like that. We were enjoying and we were just getting all the information. It was good
All right.
conversation. Yeah.
Happy
Very
to hear
informative.
that.
Very informative.
Next
also.
question. I think we still have time. So we still have time for 2 more questions. So here's the one. Think of one thing in particular that you or your organization has done and something that you wish everyone was doing.
Couldn't get it.
Dinda, you ready? Because you said you were.
Yes,
So
yes,
you're
I'm ready. Mhm.
Okay, go ahead. Start rolling.
Organizing this kind of event.
Then we need your help. We probably have to help us figure out how to do this. In fact, I was telling my colleague yesterday, I was in a Turk conference. We need something like that in our program. So Dinda, she asked me, can we have a recording of the conference so that we can replicate it?
Of course. It will be all yours now, later.
Thank you, Dinda. So who's next? Who's ready? Oh, is it difficult? Think of one thing in particular that you or your organization has done or still doing, and you wish that everyone is doing it as well.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
So this isn't specific to the COVID-19. So based on the ground needs, we roped in a prominent NGO and we carried out a training on mental health and harassment, which worsened during COVID-19. So this is something that we did. And the feedback that we received was that women indicated that they found it quite valuable and putting it to practical use. So that is something we did. Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and probably you have to share it with us if you really want us to start doing it as well, right?
Definitely. It was there in our newsletter, action newsletter, but
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
and yeah, I saw that Dinda sent us the newsletter a few minutes ago. Dinda, thank you so much. We'll definitely look at it later. Nico, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Continue to conduct activity about gender-based violence and the webinar of how important for the trade union in campaigning the convention C190. Yeah.
All right. Dom? Dom, are you still there?
Yeah, I was also thinking about working for the ratification of Convention C190.
Oh yeah. I hope that we could do this together, right? Not individual organizations doing the campaign, but since all of us are quite passionate about the campaign to get more governments to ratify C190, I hope we can work together. Yeah. Good. I also agree with that because this is something that I'm so passionate about as part of my work in ITUC AP. All right. Who's next?
Dialogue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Who is that?
Social dialogue need to be promoted to ensure sound industrial relation and decent work.
All right. Social dialogue. Okay. Next. I think two more hasn't spoken.
I wish that we the labor rights organizations and the trade unions will work together through a platform or network to strengthen our strength, because the employer are so powerful. So we should be powerful, building our networks and platforms.
All right. Thank you so much. I give that like 5 loves as well. I really love that as well. Yes, Purushottam, go ahead.
Well, I wouldn't say that there's something that other organization might not have been doing. So I'm sure we aren't doing anything. But there's something which is not related to this project, but we have been able to do evidence-based research and made brands accountable. And a result of that is that we have a platform where we were able to bring in suppliers and the brands on one table. So probably what I would say is that maybe give some focus on the evidence-based research and start making people accountable for what they're doing.
Yeah, and I think that's very, very important. We simply cannot postpone that anymore. We just say we don't have the data, but I think we really need to do that. And unions in many parts of the region have started to doing that. And we did as well. In the past, we hardly make any evidence-based research, but now we are doing a lot of it. So yes. All right, and last question. All right, so this one is you just have to finish the sentence, okay? This is very simple. But before I say the question, who is going to answer this question first? Sachi? Okay, here's the question. A more women and youth responsive or more gender and youth responsive trade unionism will happen soon because, so complete the sentence. A more gender and youth responsive trade unionism will happen soon because, so what's your answer?
Because we make our youth and girls more interested, and they can find that they should organize and involve in trade union.
Dinda, yes, a participant of a quiz. I thought you would say a pageant. Since you said that, Dinda, you're next. So what is your, complete the sentence, Dinda? So a more women and youth responsive trade unionism will happen soon because?
Because we are here for them.
Great. All right. Nico.
It will happen because the young workers will initiate and demand to their unions.
Why are you laughing, Nico? It doesn't have to rhyme. That's okay. It doesn't have to rhyme. Dom.
Could you repeat the first part?
A more gender and youth responsive trade unionism will happen soon because
women and women and young workers will demand.
Okay. All right. All right. Who else? Nazma. Go ahead.
Yes. Trade union leadership support them.
Okay.
Trade union leadership support them to form youth and women, unionism in by the youth.
Purushottam, what is your take on this sentence?
I think because the face of the business has been changing, and the way the young workers are being exploited in different new emerging sectors, it would be the young workers who would have to finally come up, and that would be a reason. Couple of examples could be one from yesterday, Santosh, who is pretty young, and in spite of not being very motivated to be a part of union, he is now very active. And also the way the exploitation is being done by the aggregators that will eventually lead to young people coming out.
All right. Nico. We haven't decided on the judges of this session, right? But I agree with that. Who gets the most points for this quiz?
I think because most of the question I answer first. buzzer round. I push the buzzer first. So I should get the first prize.
Let's ask the out of the blue members of the judges, Indira and Tanya is still there. So who won this round?
Hands down, Sanjida Appa won this round.
I didn't add mine.
She's won it.
Okay. I didn't add mine. I will just finish.
Oh, Sakshi is not even participated yet. Okay, we will wait until
Not on the last, but you have already decided.
Oh yeah, I haven't called you yet, right? Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so more gender and youth responsive unions soon, because we are continually working towards addressing their issues at work sites in terms of wages and working conditions, and also facilities pushing for decent work. Yep. Thank
Sakshi
you.
for the win. I think that perfectly wraps up. And you know what? We're pretty early. What time? We're supposed to end at 5:30, right? But we'll give the time to the other session, because I never realized. No, I just realized it now that 2 hours could be long. In some other programs, it felt like 2 hours is too short. But how do I feel like we've covered so much and we don't have anything else to talk about, and we still have time? I don't know. It's a mystery to me. But I think because we have some really amazing members of the panel, and these are the ones who are really working on the ground. So you know, you're the ones who are involved in building that stories, that good feeling that Zita kept saying. And I felt it every time you share your journeys with us. So thank you so much, members of the team. And I'd like to invite the other, 63 participants to give our panel a round of applause. Virtual ones, of course. Love, where's the love there? There's no love. I'm not seeing any love there. Come on. But would you allow me to answer that last question? You have to tell me yes.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
You want to win the quiz also, yeah.
I want to win the quiz as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. All right, so this will be my answer. Because we can, and we will succeed. After all, how can we possibly fail with so many amazing people like you behind the screen and other people watching us from anywhere? Hey, I won the quiz.
Thank you for bringing the competitive spirit inside of us.
But yeah, thank you so much. I mean, that's all for me. And I hope that you enjoyed the session as much
Thank you,
as
Anna,
I did.
for such interesting, make the session such interesting.
But you know what? I still feel that we're the only ones in this conference because it's really, really quiet, right? All right, but I'll give the screen now to the MC to take you to whatever that needs to happen after this one. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, sister. Yeah.
Wow, I'm just amazed by the immense power and hopefulness that I just witnessed. And that was a very great, very inspiring, and very fun session. Thank you, Sister Anna, for moderating it. I don't know if I can match up with your energy, but I'm trying. So once again, thank you all representatives who have shared their meaningful thoughts. And once again, please give a round of virtual applause for the session. Let's give a big applause for everyone. And let us see, let us see the reactions. Can I get a thumbs up? Some hearts? All right, brothers and sisters. Now, we have listened to the very beautiful and very, very energetic session. And now it is time for us to have our long-awaited break. We are now going for a health break for 10 minutes. You can use this time to go to the toilet, light exercise, or just snacking. So, see you in 10 minutes, brothers and sisters.
रही हो, हमको ये संस्था प्यारी शिक्षा दे रही हो, हमको ये संस्था प्यारी। BWI दिल्ली से लेकर आगरा तक संस्था आई, BWI दिल्ली से लेकर आगरा तक संस्था आई। सारे विश्व में इस संस्था को, सारे विश्व में DGB को मिलने लगी बधाई। शिक्षा दे रही हो, हमको ये संस्था प्यारी शिक्षा दे रही हो, हमको ये संस्था प्यारी। मजदूरों की मजदूरी में जब होने लगी घटाई, मजदूरों की मजदूरी में जब होने लगी घटाई, लेकिन UPMS से मिलकर, लेकिन DGB से मिलकर विजय श्रमिक ने पाई। शिक्षा दे रही हो, हमको ये संस्था प्यारी शिक्षा दे रही हो, हमको ये संस्था प्यारी। दिन भर मेहनत करते रहते, अनपढ़ होकर दुख ये सहते। दिन भर मेहनत करते रहते, अनपढ़ होकर दुख ये सहते। नहीं जानते कीमत अपनी, नहीं जानते कीमत अपनी, पैरों तले कुचलते रहते। इनके अधिकारों को दिलाने, इनके अधिकारों को दिलाने UPMS सामने आई। शिक्षा दे रही हो, हमको ये संस्था प्यारी शिक्षा दे रही हो, हमको ये संस्था प्यारी। संगठन ने स्कूल चलाए, शिक्षा बच्चों को दिलवाई। संगठन ने स्कूल चलाए, शिक्षा बच्चों को दिलवाई। पढ़ने लिखने की सामग्री से लेकर शिक्षा भी निःशुल्क दिलाई। पढ़ लिख कर मजदूर बनेगा, पढ़ लिख कर मजदूर बनेगा, मजदूरों में जागृति आई। शिक्षा दे रही हो, हमको ये संस्था प्यारी शिक्षा दे रही हो, हमको ये संस्था प्यारी। अब BWI ने कौशल विकास चलाया, अब BWI ने कौशल विकास चलवाया। निर्जन भवनों में संस्था ने, निर्जन भवनों में संस्था ने उजल दीप जलाया। मजदूरों की टोली में फिर, मजदूरों की टोली में फिर नई रोशनी।
Brothers and sisters, welcome back. So we just had our break, and now to get to know to each other, we have done several discussions and talks, but we also would like to do a simple interaction activity for tomorrow, maybe a little game. Not a squid game, of course, but little game. So, brothers and sisters, in your screen you can find a QR code as well as a link in the chat box, where it will connect you to a Mentimeter website. Here it is. Here's the code. Now, brothers and sisters, what you need to do is to think about one particular cartoon or animation character that can be your favorite. It's up to you. Can be anyone. And think about why you think that character represents you as a person. So let me give you an example, okay? I choose the character Darth Vader or Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars. I chose him because I believe that people are inherently good. They can be bad, but they can be good again. That's why we should have faith in changing people for the better. So that is my answer, and of course you cannot copy that, right? You will be disqualified from the game. So, brothers and sisters, pick your cartoon characters, and if you have it in your mind, please write down your name, okay, and the character of your choosing. Then I will give you now 2 minutes of time to write down your cartoon characters and scan the QR code here or in your chat box. Brothers and sisters, you have 2 minutes. Take your time. All right, brothers and sisters, thank you for writing down your name and your favorite cartoon character. And tomorrow, during the waiting time before we begin the event, I will pick one of you, or maybe several of you, who have collected the name of your cartoon characters and share it with the others in the room. And let me also remind you, please don't leave yet. Don't leave the room yet, because yeah, we are nearing the end of the session, but we are not there yet, so bear with me. So, brothers and sisters, finally, we have arrived now at the very end of the session. On behalf of the TURC team, I'm thankful to all guests of honors and participants who have attended today's event. Tomorrow, brothers and sisters, we will have, of course, another interesting agenda. There will be a panel session about social protection for labor and a launch to the digital video animation from Studio Batu, Yogyakarta. And brothers and sisters, you can join us in the same link of this meeting with the same time tomorrow. So brothers and sisters, for today, don't forget to complete the feedback form by simply scanning the QR code that appears now in your screen here, or you can click the link in the chat box below. Now, we will give you 3 minutes to fill the feedback form. Take your time. All right, brothers and sisters, thank you for filling up our form, our feedback form. It will be very meaningful for us. So, brothers and sisters, before we end the session today, let us all turn on our cameras and take a picture together. Okay, so let me see your faces. Yes, your smiles. Yes, is everyone still up? Yeah, still got the gist? Okay. Now we're going to take pictures as we did yesterday from the first page, and we will take each page twice. Okay, so now everybody has turned on their camera. Okay, we see that more and more people are joining the photo session. Yes. All right, don't forget to turn on your filters as well. You know, there's like that makeup filter, or like just look and smile. Okay, now from the first page. 1, 2, 3. Okay, maybe a little bit of pose or solidarity, that's also okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. Now going on to the next page. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Once again. 1, 2, 3. All right. And that's it for today. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Virtual round of applause for everyone. Yeah. So, brothers and sisters, thank you for coming for today's event. Please stay healthy. And remember, we still have a few days to go. But I hope you're all healthy and doing well in each of your own places. And we'll see you again tomorrow.
Bye everyone. See you later. Kantaben, good to see you. Suniti, hi, nice to see you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Goodbye to everybody.
शांताबेन कैसे हो?
बस अच्छी हूँ. इंदिरा बेन आप कैसी हो?
बहुत अच्छी हूँ. कल आप बहुत अच्छा बोले.
ऐसा?
અને ઇન્દ્રા. ઇન્દ્રા બોલ. Very nice. So રમીલા બેન કેમ છો?
મજામાં, તમે કેમ છો?
અરે બહુ સરસ. શું ચાલે?
શું ચાલે છે?
ચાલે છે. So nice to see you all. कितना अच्छा लग रहा है आप सब लोग आ गए यहाँ पे. वेरी गुड. कुलवंत